This is the gift of autism. It's not me. I don't paint. I'm not an artist. The autism is. I don't want any of you to forget the gifts. Okay, any questions? Yes, ma'am.
So before this event, when you started painting, you've never done any art earlier in your life, never painted, never tried?
Yeah, and you know what? If I said I never did art, that's a lie. I picked up a brush, and I kind of played with it and did some things, and I had art lessons when I was in middle school. And a local artist, I grew up in a little tiny Texas town. The local pastel portrait artist was there. She ran a little class for about 4 weeks. I came in, I took a pastel, and I painted a green bottle. And then I took another pastel and I put purple in the shadows. And she said to me, "Oh no, honey, there's no purple in the shadows." And I quit. I'm serious. When your child has anything they're interested in, grab it and run with it. Now, don't get complacent. Don't let them just run with it and do nothing more. Challenge them. See what you can do to push them a little farther. So I did have some lessons, but until I actually, if you can call like 2 weeks when I was 10 or 11 or whatever, but from the very first time I picked up a brush, I could paint. Another question? Yes, ma'am.
I noticed that you played music when you painted in eclectic. Was that your music or someone else's?
That was her. Music, freight trains, marching bands, doesn't matter. Silent, doesn't matter. I'm visually stimulated, and it creates an emotion, and the emotion goes on the canvas. Now, what usually happens after I finish the painting, I can't see it, because I think one side of my brain creates and the other side is the analytical side. So I will come back to it after, and I will actually see it for the first time. And sometimes I'll look and go, how did I do that? Because I don't even know what I'm doing. And there's a little rolling, like, paintings on the frame over here. Every single photo I look at feels different to me. So every time I paint a painting, it's different. So I have no set course. I have never painted a painting like this at any kind of event. But I did tonight. So it just happens. Another question? Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm kind of curious, at the very end when you stopped, one, it's absolute perfection and it's such a beautiful painting. What does it feel like on the inside? What happens that you think, oh, better put my brush down? Is there? I'm just kind of curious about that. Because to me, it looks like you stopped at just the right time. It's gorgeous.
Who knows? It's the thing is, actually, I had to, when I first started painting, I paint, and it'd be whatever it is with the autism would paint. Then I'd come back, and the analytical side of me would be like, maybe a little or this, and my partner was great. He says, take it off the easel and leave it alone. Because there's a side of us that creates, and there's a side of us that is the, is this perfect? Is the perspective good? Da, 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 da. And the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter. What you're looking at is the feeling of people wandering down a path. You get the feeling of rain. You get the feeling of the trees. They don't look like trees. If you think about it, none of that looks like trees, but it feels. So I just have to let the feeling out, and when it's done, I'm done. And I have to empower myself to walk away from the easel.